Welcome everyone to another interesting conversation with Guruji Naushir. I, Sirisha,
And I am Seema.
we welcome you. Guruji, we have a very interesting question. Why are gurus always or mostly men? It's a very
Yes,
interesting question.
yes. And why are gurus always men? Uh, See, it's not a gender thing over here.
Okay.
Uh, the fact is that certain kind of tapas and certain spiritual practices which are required to reach the level where you qualify as a guru are more easily done by men for two reasons. One is they're physically uh, a stronger species, and B, more importantly, a woman due to her menstrual cycle and loss of blood every week for from the age of
30 months.
12 to 40 or 50 or something,
For a week.
for so many years, that process weakens a woman's body in a certain way. Not only does it weaken the physical body, it also weakens the subtle body, the astral
It
body.
has an impact on the subtle body.
Yes, it has. It has. That is the price a woman pays for being a mother.
Mother.
Okay.
And plus the motherhood also.
And the
does
motherhood
it-
could, but I mean, that is some people may not bear
But
children.
this is that monthly.
But the monthly cycle is there. So because of this drain mainly, certain practices are not possible, and even if they are done, the physical body will not sustain that level of energy.
Okay.
And this is primarily the reason why men are more suited for those practices,
Okay.
because ultimately they are energy bound practices, and the physical body has to sustain them and cope with them. So a female body may not be able to cope with them, or be extremely difficult, and would cause a lot of problems and disturbance.
Okay.
So this is the technical reason why gurus are mainly men. And also there are, I feel there are social reasons to it also, because a woman is more looked upon as a nurturer and you know a house
Caregiver.
housemaker, and which would give her less opportunity to pursue long periods of sustained spiritual practices. Though I'll tell you, women are definitely far more intuitive, and they are far more inclined towards spirituality.
Right.
But when it comes to the practical difficulties of doing high level tapas, they may not have the kind of convenience to do it, or the time or the opportunity to do it. And also at times when you do these kind of practices, A, you might have to live with a guru, or B, you might have to live alone. This again creates a problem for a woman, because the safety of a woman is at stake. And and this is just on the lighter side. I think if there were female gurus, there'd be a lot of men hitting on them. So I think they, they would want to avoid
Guruji,
that kind of.
it goes for the male gurus
No,
as
no,
well.
no, 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 no. The males can.
The women might be hitting upon them.
They-
And more temptation to face from from that side. But
yeah, but then
I
you're
think
trained not to take that temptation. That's a different thing. But
yeah,
that's on the lighter
safety.
side.
Yeah, but safety I can
But
understand.
safety
Yes.
reasons, yeah, safety reasons. Women can't go to certain places. They can't stay alone in isolation for certain. And more importantly, as I said, the body is gradually weakened, and especially the astral body also, because when you come to a certain level of spiritual practice, your astral body has to be really strong. I mean, that is what we basically do with kriyas and stuff like that, is we strengthen the astral body. So yes, a woman can do all that, but then to reach a certain level, to be able to sustain the higher levels of energy, that may become difficult.
I know Guru's role is little different. It's not
Because
just
you are
spiritual
not only,
progress.
yeah, you are not only your own spiritual progress, but you are responsible for the spiritual progress of many people.
Yeah, and transferring the energy,
Energy
and then
also,
to
yes.
harness that much energy, to contain that much energy. I
Right,
think it's
right.
quite a bit at energy level that woman's
It's a
body.
big ask at the energy level, and a woman will not be able to sustain that
Just to
physically.
be a philosopher or
That you can do. That you can
no,
do.
or a
Ah,
saint.
you can be a,
Yeah,
yeah,
there
you
are
can be a
many
woman
female
saint.
saint.
You can be a woman saint. I'm not saying, there have been women
Yes,
saints.
Many,
there have
many,
been.
There are, yeah, because as I said, they are more intuitive, they're more inclined spiritually. So yes, there are women saints, and many of them. But the role of a guru is very different. So there, I feel there's a limitation, and that's why men are mostly
Yes.
the high priests.
Guruji, one more question. Oh, this is again very interesting. Is Mahavatar Babaji Lord Krishna himself?
A direct question, Guruji,
Yes.
because na Yogda Satsang or
I know,
the
I know,
institutions attached to Yogananda ji
I know.
sometimes give that connection.
Impression, yeah. Okay, I'll start by a qualification that there is certain information about Babaji I cannot reveal without his permission, and that would be a breach of trust. But I'll say this, that Babaji is one soul, Krishna is another soul. I mean, they're two different souls. So it's not like this is incarnating as this or that is incarnating as this. It's not like that. But the only thing I am at liberty to disclose is that the source is the same. They come from the same source of energy. And you see, what happens is, there is a two-way street in the physical world. There are souls that graduate to divine status, and there are aspects of divinity that devolve to the physical.
Okay.
Okay? So, it's not that every soul matures into the highest level. There are souls that come out of the divine source,
Okay.
or one divine energy, one major divine energy, and they play their roles. They come for purpose. They don't come without a
What
purpose.
we call avatars.
We call avatars. No, even as great saints and sages, they could come. But once that energy is created, that energy becomes a soul and takes a separate existence, it remains separate. So when you say Krishna comes out of the Vishnu energy, that Krishna entity then remains separate. It doesn't get
Go back and merge
merge
again.
into that. It remains separate. Though the consciousness is all same. The consciousness is the same. But it does remain as a separate entity.
Okay.
So Babaji is a separate entity, but the source is the
It's the
same.
same. Okay.
So what is once created, it cannot be then
No, it
destroyed.
cannot. Once a soul is created, cannot be destroyed. It cannot be demolished. It can merge for certain purposes and demerge again. That is possible.
So what we can say here is both the consciousness wise they are same.
Same.
But they
Consciousness
are
wise,
not
they're
same.
But
as-
but
but
entity wise, they're
different.
they're distinct.
distinct.
Not different, but distinct.
Guruji, one last minute question from my side, because there are many theories about Babaji, who exactly he is, and the mantra that he had given to you to be given to us. Somewhere people ask this question: is he Gorakshanath or does he belong to Nath Sampradaya? At least can you
Absolutely
give
does.
some
He does.
information?
in one of his many, I would say, incarnations, he has been in the Nath Sampradaya.
Okay. But
And
which Nath that we cannot...
he's not specified that.
Okay.
He could have been many of them also,
Yeah.
because they were at different times.
Yes, yes.
So we might see them separately, but it may be one soul.
And now, after knowing from you how the divinity plays, it's really mind-boggling. So
very-
ultimately, they belong to one consciousness, but they are separate entities.
They are separate
For
entities.
human intellect, I think it's too much to understand.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little tricky to understand.
Yes. No, you have no. That's all.
Over to
Okay, so
you.
it's my turn now. Uh, uh, okay. There are two questions, but since we are speaking about Babaji, I'll first take that question. So, what is Babaji's vision about Tadekam and its role in this world in the next decade? Because you, as if been guided at every step by Babaji, as if he's very much involved personally into Tadekam. So, has he shared his views about the mission?
Okay, I'll tell you very quickly. See, Tadekam is Babaji's personal organization. Let me tell you that. He takes absolute personal interest in it, and he feels it is his vehicle to get certain work done. Okay? I mean, I might, for all practical purposes, run it, but he's the force behind it and he is the brains behind it. I don't take any major decisions or any kind of steps without his concurrence. Either they are in the form of instructions, but even if they're my initiative, I always have a second this thing from him, confirmation from him. Yeah. So this is his personal, like, little vehicle to get his work done. Now, as far as what will happen in the next 10 years, I can't really tell you, because his plans keep changing. And we always keep changing our plans according to the situation at that moment. So we don't, at any point of time, make long-term plans.
I know, it's
It's
so
futile. It's futile because we know that it's going to
World keeps
change.
changing, situations
Keep changing. Everything changes. So as required, we make appropriate plans for a limited time frame.
Yes.
So yes, 10 years down the line, I don't know what Tadekam will be or do, but I know what we will do in the next 6 months, yes, because we plan according to that, and even the instructions that come to me are for the immediate future, not for that long-term a period.
And knowing Guruji from my personal experience, he's not the type to continuously bother Babaji and keep asking what is the agenda behind this. No, I want to do this. Then what is your view on this? His surrender is at such a level where he just receives instructions and he follows them. As simple as that. So there is no questioning ki, how you view it or what exactly is my role. The surrender is to that level. He just takes instructions, and of course, the freedom of executing is given to him. There he again doesn't go to Babaji, okay, now micromanage it.
Right.
Babaji gives
There's
him
a certain-
broad
there's a
idea,
certain
and then he
sync.
trusts him to
There's a
Execute
certain
execute.
perfect sync in this.
Yeah.
There's a perfect sync in this.
So I completely understand. Whatever is Babaji's vision, it will unfold with due time, and we are doing what best we can do at this moment.
Absolutely.
Okay, Guruji. Next question is: you have thousands of disciples and followers. Why have you not felt the need to build an ashram or many ashrams and expand the organization all over the world and be in the competition?
Oh my God, yeah. Okay. I think there are two questions in
Yes,
this,
yes.
three questions in this. So I'll answer one first. Now, I don't know if I have thousands of followers. Yes, I may have a few thousand followers. Many of them I don't know because a lot of people meet me, go away, they keep following me, but they don't interact with me. So yes, there are thousands of followers. Sometimes they just read my books or see my videos and follow what I'm saying. But I would say I have about 500 to 1,000 disciples, and those are core. You know, they are the ones who actually follow the practices that are taught by me, and are serious seekers. And that is my core. So I am not a stadium filler. I don't want to fill stadiums. I don't want to boast that, oh, I have 10 lakh followers and I have 50 lakh followers. And I'm not into that. So my focus basically is to do this work for Babaji as he wants it. And I know that he wants serious seekers to come to me who are focused on doing sadhana and who are focused on their own progress and on their own change. They want to come out of suffering and misery. And probably they have followed Babaji in previous incarnations in whichever form he has come. So I'm in this lifetime, I'm looking after them under his guidance. And we have a certain working arrangement which I can't disclose how we work it, but yes, we look after these disciples. I can tell you as a fact. And I'm not the type who does miracles like, you know, those open type of miracles. We don't do that, neither Babaji nor me. But when our people are in distress, or they call out, or they call out intensely for help, we both are there. And we have a system of working how to help them. Now that I can't disclose,
No doubt about
because
it.
that is between him and me. But yes, we do have our way of.
So basically, your role is to guide few, but really serious seekers who are
and take them
ahead,
long
as
way
much
ahead.
as they can.
They can go in one lifetime.
One
Yes,
lifetime.
yes, of course.
So it's not about expanding. It's about
No, it's not about numbers.
numbers.
It's not a numbers
It's
game.
quality.
It's not a money game. No,
not
nothing.
a money
I mean, we don't have that in our thing at all. You know, it's.
I think somewhere in Swami Shivananda Saraswati's book I have read, don't build ashrams.
Now, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to the ashram thing. Yes. When I started my journey with Babaji, I mean, I must have possibly in my mind, I must have thought that yes, I'll probably build an ashram one day or something like that sort. Promptly, instructions came from him that you don't need to build ashrams, and just do what I tell you to. You will grow according to the way I want you to. Okay? And don't think of building ashrams. Now, I realized that a few years later, when I saw more of the world and what goes on in it, and especially in the spiritual, so-called spiritual field, institutions, these ashrams are today basically theme resorts. You know?
True that.
And I don't want to become a resort owner. I mean, if I wanted to do business, I would have stayed in business. I wouldn't have taken this career and this line. Now, ashrams had a meaning at a
Earlier
certain
times,
time. Yes. In say maybe 200, 300 years back and before that, whenever.
They had a purpose.
They had a purpose, and there are very specific purpose why ashrams were built. They were built because communication was communication and travel was very dangerous and difficult. So you couldn't like meet your guru by flying 2 hours in the morning, meet him, come back 2 hours in the night. I mean, that kind of facilities weren't there. You traveled for days or months sometimes, and very dangerous terrain. So when you went to a guru's
Rather
ashram or a
stay there,
rishi's ashram, you had to stay there. You couldn't like meet him for a day and go back.
And I
practical.
feel the
And-
practices at that time demanded more
Demanded
time to be spent with the Guru.
exactly. The amount of time that was required. I mean, that is according to the yugas, of course,
Evolution and-
evolution.
Right.
The time required was extensive. So you had to spend like 20, 30 years
Was under the Gurus.
under the Guru's guidance, direct guidance, to evolve to a certain level.
And I'm
So
sure they were
ashrams were
not the
necessary.
resort types at all.
And they were not the resort types. I mean,
I'm sure they did
today
seriously.
you have ashrams which have
Five-star,
5-star
yeah,
rooms,
yeah.
and you pay differently for
Rates,
different
and there are
rooms.
like, they cater to every
So
street,
for me that
state.
is like a theme park. You know, I mean, it's not a
They are
it's
built
not a
absolutely scenic and beautiful.
okay that may appeal to your senses,
Senses,
but the point is that what purpose does it serve?
Serving.
You know, and people don't stay there for more than 2-3 days.
No.
So it's really a holiday.
Yeah,
You know, a
it's a
spiritual
max a
holiday.
week, yeah.
So you feel less guilty. Oh, we are going to an ashram, but actually you're having a holiday.
Because it has the same effect. You are
Yeah,
you're-
you just
yes.
let your hair down and you relax for a
Peaceful,
few days.
blissful
Yeah, you
and
may do a little
quiet,
meditation instead of doing boating or something. So, you know, so it doesn't make sense. Therefore, I was given
What
very
is the
clear
takeaway? Like-
instructions. I was given clear instruction that do not create ashrams, because when these kind of big ashrams are created like they are today, there is tremendous politics. And when you have so many people staying, coming, going,
money involved.
money,
and
and there has to be money involved. If you
involved. How can
want
you
a big
maintain otherwise?
infrastructure
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
want to maintain that infrastructure, you have to have money. And to get that kind of money, A, you have to be political.
Yes.
B, you have to run after corporates,
Or have
celebrities,
business model in
and you have to
place.
have a good business model in place. Now, why the hell would I do that? If I want, I would have become a hotelier. If I wanted to do
Had a
that, I
chain
would have
of-
become and had a chain of hotels. Why should I become a guru and run hotels? You know, it's like that. So today ashrams have a very different meaning. Therefore, what we have done, and I mean, what I have done is that we keep these meditation centers, or we keep some small place where people can just get together and I can teach them something and they go back home.
And-
Because end of the day, I want them to be with their families and continue with their lives. I don't want them to run away. I
Or
don't want
you're-
runaways.
You are not a sannyasi, and you are not initiating anybody into
And I
sannyas.
don't propagate sannyas.
Yeah, so it doesn't serve the purpose
So
for you.
what purpose is it? And there was a time when sannyas was required. Today
yeah.
it is not. It's not even practical to become a sannyasi. Or it's because this communication is so fast and so intricate that you can't really isolate yourself unless you completely go and live in a cave or something of that sort, which very few people can do.
Yeah, and
So I encourage people to come learn and
go home and practice.
practice in their
Practice
own
is-
environment.
yeah. Because no matter how good a ashram is, always there will be a limit how long you can stay there. At one day you have to come back to your home and be in that situation, be with those challenges. So
You have to
what's
face
the
your
use? Because you might
yeah.
lose that peace which you have gathered in those eight day stays,
Sure.
and lose it the
Sure.
next day when
Sure.
you are back home.
Sure.
So, you answered a whole lot of questions about ashrams. Okay. Thank you so much, viewers, and continue to watch MANOVAAC, and see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.